What is up, Investor Jason here. So in this video, we're going to be talking about a major player over in the EV space, and this is definitely not going to be one of those recent EV SPACs that creates a lot of buzz. This is a company called Mobileye, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. This is one that was purchased by Intel back in 2017, and now it is going to be breaking off and going public under its own name. And this is a major player in the EV space. A lot of car companies are already doing business with them, and the technology is just getting better and better for Mobileye. So we're going to go into talking about what's currently going on with Mobileye. We're talking about how Intel is going to be separating themselves from it, but still be the largest shareholder of it, and Mobileye will just be its own thing. So this is great news, and it can be really big for both Intel and Mobileye and shake things up a bit in the entire EV space. So let's dive right into this. So as we do, if you don't mind, please do me a huge favor. Please be sure to smash this story, annihilate, or just gently press that like button as always, because it does help me out with the YouTube algorithm and help spread these videos to more people that might find it interesting. Now let's get to it. Now, Mobileye is used by 25 plus automakers. 60 million plus vehicles worldwide are equipped with Mobileye technology, and 300 plus car models have Mobileye inside them. And on their website, referring to their technology, it says, from the beginning 2 decades ago, hardware and software have lived under one roof at Mobileye. Our growing team of over 1,700 employees is dedicated to our tradition of leveraging the newest technology, including AI, deep learning, and crowdsourcing, to create the hardware and software needed to help our over 25 OEM partners enable ADAS systems and eventually fully autonomous vehicles. Now, with Mobileye already doing business with a lot of these major manufacturers out there, pretty much everybody besides Tesla, Mobileye has the ability to really expand their business even more as we start seeing more and more electric vehicles from other companies start, going on the road. And when we start talking about things like autonomous driving, and Mobileye has been working on this for a long time, this is an area where Mobileye has the potential to really grow their business a lot. And it's a very smart move, in my opinion, for Intel to take Mobileye public on their own entity. And that's an area that Mobileye can really start expanding with everything that they've already accomplished and everything that is going to be going on here soon in the future, with many of these automotive companies really having to play catch up with Tesla. Now, looking at Intel stock here, what we can see is that Intel stock does seem to have this sort of trend here where we can see the price of stock max out at some point every single year and then drop off. It seems like it's a very common situation. Looking at 2018, we're seeing the price of the stock drop. Around May, it starts taking a dip. We see it again in 2019. The stock drops off in April, and we won't really report 2019, but we can still kind of judge it a bit by seeing how they did drop off around May or June. And then again here in 2021, same thing happened. They did the reporting in April, looks like, and then it looks like their stock then starts dropping off all throughout May. So it's a very common trend with Intel stock. I think a lot of that has to do with they really show really good numbers for the holiday season, and then after they start showing even more reports after a slowdown, then the price of stock starts dropping. So it wouldn't be surprised that right now they wouldn't really be amping up that price of the stock, but keep in mind, this is just the trends that Intel stock is going to do. You can pretty much expect that every year around December, January, we'll start seeing the stock do a bit of a recovery and a trend up. That's just basically just going off the history here of what I'm seeing on their graph. So just keep that in mind. Now, Intel plans to publicly list shares of its Mobileye self-driving car unit in mid-2022. So again, it shouldn't be any sort of surprise that they would be expecting to do that in mid-year, because that's when we start seeing the price of Intel stock dropping off a bit. So this is a good recovery, a good thing for Intel shareholders that probably are buying in right now, because you can probably still see the stock do well in the mid-year, which is when the time that we usually see Intel stock dropping a bit. But anyways, this is a significant positive for the technology company, Morgan Stanley said in a Tuesday note. The investment firm highlighted a very limited synergy between Intel and Mobileye, despite a potential increase in the latter's value since the acquisition by Intel in 2017. for an equity value of $15.3 billion. It is also said that Mobileye's substantial business has continued to strengthen in a quickly growing market with strong customer engagement and new programs secured at a market-leading rate. With that backdrop, we believe that Intel can now extract some value from the business in a way where they still hold majority ownership over a highly strategic asset in a diversified market, but can also free up some additional capital and attention to commit to the core business that is still badly in need of a turnaround. Morgan Stanley said, adding that it views the potential deal as a positive catalyst for the stock. Now, Mobileye has been a great asset for Intel, but Intel themselves is also just a great company in general. And just to do a quick glance over Intel's revenues, Intel has a lot to offer by itself, even though we see the price of their stock fluctuate so much. Just looking over at their trailing 12 months revenues, we can see that they always stay consistently around 18, 19, going close to even $20 billion every single quarter in their revenues. And the company is really good about staying consistent with everything, and they have really nice balance sheet. There's nothing wrong with Intel at all. They're always maxed out on their total assets in comparison to what their total liabilities are. There's nothing you can really complain about. Everything is always the same for the most part across the board, and they're just slowly, gradually growing and paying out a dividend. Just a stock that you'd want to hold on to regardless of the fluctuation, because it's not really a growth stock. It's more of a company that's been around for a long time and a good long time hold. Now, Mobileye breaking off from Intel is not going to be a really big hit to Intel's revenues, as Mobileye in 2020 brought $1 billion of revenue. So just to give you guys an example, this isn't going to really hurt much of the bottom line on Intel's revenues, but Mobileye itself is a really good asset and it does have a lot of potential. So it being its own thing and being able to get more investors into it by itself, that is an area that Intel really has to benefit from it. And seeing how there's just this large shift into EVs by many of these other automotive companies out there that are trying to compete with Tesla and Lucid Motors and, this whole expanding industry, I think that Mobileye really has a lot of potential here. There's not many companies that are able to put up the money to really make this type of technology. It takes years of research, and Mobileye has 20 years of experience on this. So we'll have to see how it all does play out, but I think that this is a really good thing, and I think that it easily has 10 plus X potential to really make some big gains when this does IPO, and especially as we're seeing Ford, GM, everybody joining the game here. So with that being said, I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions about Mobileye breaking off from Intel and being its own publicly traded company. So with that being said, please like, share, comment, subscribe. New videos coming out all the time. Thanks for watching.